Facebook and Google are all huge tech players that continue to shape their operations in emerging markets. Another of these players is the world's second largest music streaming service called Deezer. Before launching in America, Deezer launched in South Africa in October last year and now has some 250,000 registered users. Now, to give us a bit of insight into what evolving digital infrastructure's growth potential is in emerging markets like Africa, Asia and the Middle East, we are joined from our Cape Town studios by Head of Emerging Markets at Deezer, Mathieu Molinero. Mathieu, thank you very much for joining us. Let's get into it. Let's look at this emerging markets. What would you say are the top three markets and why?
In terms of potential, I mean, in my region, I mean, covering Europe, Middle East, and Africa, I would say that you definitely have Turkey, and then South Africa is definitely one of the most important countries.
Why do you think Deezer has had the kind of success it's had in South Africa, and why are the emerging markets responding to it? Because actually, music streaming is a very convenient way of listening to music. It really corresponds to the new way of consumptions, because you have access to all the music you want. I mean, Deezer's catalog has around 35 million tracks. You can listen to all these tracks at any time, on any device, anytime, anywhere, when you're on the beach, even when you don't have any internet connections, because you can have also the offline mode, which is kind of a downloading feature for a very affordable price. So that's a very good alternative to piracy, much more convenient and much cheaper than legal downloading platforms, for example. So once people actually start to discover the product and the service, they realize that it's not worth wasting your time and spending hours on bad quality music on piracy, and go to platforms like Deezer. And this is what actually we're pushing our free version a lot in emerging markets, meaning that people can actually listen to all the music they want totally on the web. They have access to smart radios on the mobile apps. They just have to bear advertising, but apart from that, they can listen to any kind of music for free. And if they want to have extra features like the offline mode I was talking about earlier on, they have to pay a little bit less than 60 rand a month. You're talking about innovation in the music space, and I'm glad that you touched on piracy, and you're talking about quality. How much work do we still need to do to educate the market to say, yes, you can get it for free, download it illegally, but you're impacting on quality, and you're, at the end of the day, hurting a business that has huge potentials to employ people?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's true that there's still a lot of education to be done here in South Africa, and then piracy is still important and has an impact on the music market. The last figures show actually that the music industry in South Africa is losing 10% per year during the last 5 years. So this is why definitely we have to find alternatives to the old systems of the physical sales of legal platforms that are still very expensive. I mean, in order to have just a few tracks, for the price of just a few tracks on legal downloaded platforms, you have access to 35 million tracks on Deezer. So yeah, I think it just means that it doesn't mean that people are not ready to pay for music anymore. People just need a new way of consumption in the music industry, and everybody has to follow and try to develop the best product as possible in order to meet the needs of the new consumers.
And I think maybe that's where there's an opportunity, meeting the need of the new consumers. Well, you're in emerging markets. What are consumers saying to you? Because we are seeing the success of other tech companies, and we're getting a glimpse of what the future is going to look like. But I can only imagine as we develop more, the needs change. How do we make sure that we stay abreast of the needs of consumers? And how do we make sure that we're engaging them at the right time and make sure that whatever is coming into the market makes life easier, like applications like Deezer?
For us at Deezer, the most important part actually to satisfy each country, because each country is very specific. I think that would be a very wrong approach to approach every country is exactly the same way with one product that would fit for all the countries. And we put a lot of emphasis on local content.
And every time we open a country, and especially an emerging country where local music is very important, we want to hire local editors that really know the local music scene, that has all the networks with the local indie labels and work very closely with the majors in order to be able to have the largest catalog as possible in local music. So we have Tekla in Cape Town in South Africa, who's working with all these labels. So this is really one of our main focus. And then we also need to have a very easy to use service where it's very obvious for the music fan as soon as they go on board, as soon as they download the app or go to our website, that they can immediately very tailor-made, have a tailor-made profile where they choose directly what kind of music, what kind of artists they like. Are they more into gospel? Are they more into Afrikaans music? Are they more into South African hip-hop or more international, more mainstream kind of artists? And the objective is to have a very personalized
service
feed and profile on Deezer.
We're going to leave it there, but thank you very much for talking to us, Head of Emerging Markets at Deezer, Mathieu Molinero, talking to us about music streaming and what our world is eventually going to look like.